over him trying to do something in that chest area. Now, bear in mind, we had already patted him for weapons. It was at that particular time, the second time, I thought maybe somehow we had missed something. So I reached into the area he was going to and pulled out a notebook with a key on it.
Schaeffler found the key taped to a yellow spiral notebook in Martinez' breast pocket. That night, all the Cubans were using pseudonyms. Martinez was Jean Valdez. These are Schaeffler's own notes from 20 years ago of the evidence taken from Jean Valdez. The bottom clearly says, yellow spiral notebook with key. Schaeffler initialed the top right corner of the notebook, CMS, and dated it June 17th, 1972. This key and this notebook, buried for 2 decades in the vaults of the National Archives in Washington, were taken from Eugenio Rolando Martinez during his arrest. These days, Valdez, or rather Martinez, is a used car salesman in Miami, where our producers caught up with him. His comments were not recorded, as the state of Florida prohibits recording without permission. This once legendary CIA field operative, nicknamed Muscalito, or Little Muscle Man, now denies any knowledge of the key. But Detective Schaeffler says Martinez almost died because of it.
We were nervous. We had our guns drawn. And in the face of this, he failed to follow our directions at least twice, and the last time could have cost him his life.
Watergate burglar Frank Sturgis also vividly remembers the scuffle between Martinez and Schaeffler.
Martinez started talking because he told everybody to shut up, get up against the wall, and so forth, and Martinez started blah, 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 and he slapped the hell out of Martinez. It was a shame. I don't know, he shouldn't have done that, you know. And then I spoke up. I says, hey, look, fellas, take it easy. Nobody's going to hurt you. Calm down, okay? We don't have no weapons, no nothing. Don't get excited. We're not out to hurt nobody, and please, don't hurt none of us. Because he slapped the hell out of Martinez, and I didn't like it.
10 days after the break-in, the FBI discovered what that key unlocked. The FBI thought it important enough to find out what this key fit. They spent hours trying dozens of locks until they made the match. The Bureau's confidential 302s, or raw investigation records, revealed that the key fit the desk of Ida Maxine Wells. There is no evidence to suggest that Ida Maxine Wells herself knew why one of the burglars had the key. She was his secretary in a suite of offices that had been bugged 2 weeks earlier. But there is no doubt that her desk was the real target of the Watergate burglars, and none of the committees on Capitol Hill knew that. Forgotten in the popular lore of Watergate was an earlier successful break-in, which went completely undetected. 20 days before the famous Watergate burglary, the same team of so-called plumbers slipped into the building. They bugged a telephone in the Democratic National Committee. It was the phone near the desk of Ida Maxine Wells.
Every individual that I was introduced to, or that was pointed out to me, I was advised, this is a White House consultant.
One of the Watergate plumbers, Alfred Baldwin, had been monitoring the bugged phone for 2 weeks from the Howard Johnson Hotel across the street. The bugged conversations were alleged to be of a sexual nature. But during the Watergate trials, the evidence from the wiretap was sealed by the courts at the request of the Democrats who had been bugged.
We had a witness on the stand, Baldwin, who was testifying that they had electronic devices in there to record conversations. And he was, in a general way, going to say that they related to social relationships between people without getting into whether there was even any sexual connotation or any other connotation to it.
Just what does this have to do with the next and famous Watergate break-in? As it turns out, plenty. The Washington paper's banner headline tells of the busting of a call girl ring at the Columbia Plaza across the street from the Watergate. It's June 9th, just 10 days after the first Watergate break-in. A lawyer, Philip Mackin Bailey, is arrested and charged with violating prostitution laws.
The operation at Columbia Plaza sent a number of girls down to the Watergate to service various clientele at the Watergate. There were arrests made in the lobby of the Watergate Hotel from this ring.
That same day, June 9th, an official White House pass shows that a John Rudy visits John Dean at his office. Time is 15:50, 3:50 p.m. Rudy was the Justice Department official prosecuting the call girl ring. Dean had apparently telephoned earlier and specifically asked Rudy to come over. Rudy wouldn't discuss the meeting for this report,